Alright, now we're live again. So, just back after my lunch break here. Okay, so we are... Yeah, we've done a bunch of random stuff. And I think what I want to focus on now is maybe make the enemy more interesting. I'm thinking maybe implementing like a range attack and maybe change. I think I'm actually gonna change a little bit on, like, I'm gonna try out different player speeds and the speed of the combat as well. Maybe I do want it to be like have the player move a little bit faster. It's just a little bit too slow. Perhaps. So, I mean, this is sort of like the speed, if you would think like the old Castlevania. It feels like almost the same speed like that, maybe. But maybe we want it to be a little bit faster. I'm just gonna try it and see how it feels. So, we go to initial scene. We have something with player speed, maybe. Climb speed. Run factor. Okay. So that depends on the jump factor. The jumping, I guess, could also be improved. So let's actually improve the jump factor a little bit, or increase it. So let's try 6. See how much that actually does. Okay, it didn't really do much. Let's try, I don't know, 8. I think what we'll do is we'll try and change the jump factor. Okay. I mean, that's a fair jump. Maybe a little bit less, actually. I think the run factor, I don't want it to actually depend on the jump factor. It feels weird to have them depend on each other. But I feel maybe this works for jump. And then maybe the running can be a little bit faster. So this is 35. Let's increase it to like 45 maybe. Yeah, maybe. We could try and keep it this pace. It feels a little bit floaty when jumping. Maybe it's because there's no like animation for it yet. But I think the speed makes it so that, I mean, yeah, you can more easily dodge projectiles. So I was thinking that when the enemy sort of launches a projectile, let's say, it will show like where the projectile will land, so you kind of know where, like, how to dodge it. Let's see. So okay, whatever. Let's just change this manually. Wait. Something like that. Okay. Here's our monster. So this is the hurt animation, here's the death animation. Spawn. We have two different attacks. I wanna make, yeah, and then we have the idle animation as well, like a move animation. Just checking if it's the correct distances and stuff. So a move would be maybe something like, maybe, so maybe there's two different moves. Maybe there's like one move for idle and one for aggroing when you're aggroed. But let's make a basic movement first. I'm just gonna delete the eyes for now for this and make it, I'm thinking like maybe 3 or 4 different frames. So I'm thinking like something like this, and then it moves up this a bit. Maybe something like this, I don't know. And then this one, this moves in a little bit. just want to see how that looks compared. Okay. And then this part can be like sort of moving back a little bit. Okay. Well, actually, let's show this one. Merge down. Wait, why is it? Oh, okay. That's weird. Okay, whatever. So we'll have that there. And let's copy this over. Oops. Okay. And actually I want to delete this. Whoops. I think this reaches up. Something like that. And then it starts to go down. And then this goes up. And then this part goes in a little bit as well. Oops. Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to get this here. So I move this over like this. Now that should be visible there. Okay. Okay, now guess even more down there. Oops. Wait. Let's do this. This one just moves back like that. Oops. And then I guess this part might form this into actually this should move out as well. Okay. Right, and now maybe excuse me. This goes down. Oops. And we move this over like, well, something like this. Maybe move up a little bit so we're lifting it up. And then maybe... Okay, there's a bit more frames than I was thinking. Maybe it is too much. Well, we'll see. We can always cut some frames later. Let's see how this looks in the editor now. Oops. Oh, that's not the right thing. There. And let's make a new animation, which is, I guess, walk. I think if we delete this, I think we'll start with this one, and then I guess it kind of looks like it's like suspended in midair almost. This part, maybe the right part needs to be more attached to the ground still. That's what kind of what I was thinking. Like the right part is on the ground, while the left part is like forming to do like a leg to move forward. So maybe this part actually needs to be actually down like this. And then it like inches in like that. And at this part also I want to smooth this off a bit. It looked a bit weird. Maybe round this off like that. Yeah. Okay. And I think here we might flatten this out a bit so that it looks like it's like standing on the ground here almost. Oops. And I think also this entire thing might just be able to move forward here. Oh, you're not actually seeing my edits here. Okay. Well, anyway, now let's see how this looks. Should probably have saved the animation before, but let's do 0.2 there. Actually, I wanna start with this. Yeah, that looks way more what I was thinking in my head. All right. And now I think we just morph it back into itself. So it's taking like these small steps. So let's just delete this layer here. Right. Let's move this in. Have this part a little bit lower now. Something like that, maybe. And then I'm not sure what to do with this part. Maybe it shrinks in or something. Okay, and the last one. And then we start to go back a little bit. Something like this. Okay. We'll do that. I guess this will go out a little bit. Okay, so something like this. Now let's add the ice. So maybe we do add these ice here. But it is interesting to see how these eyes will look in this animation here. I'm not sure. I'm trying to keep them in the like same place, sort of, but the whole body is like deforming here, so it's hard to see if it will end up in the same spot. Something like this. All right, let's add the next ones. Yeah, you can see it's kind of jumping around there. Wonder how fast we want to have this animation. Maybe like that. Okay. Right, so now we have a little walk animation there, or wobble animation. I also want to add an animation for... Actually, also let's add some more shadows, I guess, here. Very important detail. Okay. Now, okay, so now I want to add like a range attack thing. So I'm thinking like it's just gonna either grab maybe like a rock or spit out a ball of clay or something. Maybe throwing a rock is better. I don't know. Or maybe it's like a rock infused clay ball, or a clay infused rock ball. So okay, so I have an idea. So let's grab this. I think I want to start with this same animation here. I'm not gonna copy this, but I will start with this one. And let's put this, I don't know, over here. Like that, I believe, yes. And I wanna now remove this. Whoops. It's gonna start doing something like this. And there, yes. Something like this. This part goes back a little bit when it does that. It's like kind of borrowing mass from one side of the body to another. Okay, and that looks the same. Okay, now yeah, it's just gonna start to grow a big ball here. Some kind. It's kind of funneling like more mass into this shape. I don't know, maybe that looks a bit weird. Okay, so then start to create this thing here. And it's gonna also fuse some rocks into there, so I need some gray things. It's gonna start to like grow these things here. Shifting around a little bit. Maybe moving this a little bit. Okay. And this one more ball-like now. So also move this in a little bit. Okay. And there. Okay, so let's increase this part now. We'll make this even more ball-like, expanding it a little bit. let's also start here and here and here and here and over there. All right. Let's contact this in a little bit. It's like straining a little bit to do this. Oops. Something like that. Okay. Okay, so oh yeah, and this one, let's see. More like this now, maybe. It's thinning off. And we can lower this as well. And this. I want more here, yes. Okay. Copy this. Now we are somewhere here. There. Yes. Okay. So I think the ball should be sort of done. We just need to like... So now it's like a very quick throw animation. I'll just expand this a little bit here. So it's gonna be like mostly well, still gonna be a bunch of clay, but mostly rock. Okay, and then let's take this and like it's gonna swing it like this. So next I want to have like maybe one frame over there. And then the arm should change drastically now. Let's do this. And in a little bit here, maybe. Or maybe, no, maybe it actually goes out. Okay. Like that. line it up there. Okay, I will take the ball and move it up almost over here. So this, I guess this will be more like the launch will be maybe more, how I was thinking is more sideways, so it's like straight forward. I was thinking first that we want to have more like a this type of arc instead. But if that's gonna be, it's gonna like have it there and then release it, I guess. Because it's over there, then it's over there, so that kind of arrow is fine, I guess. Wait, but if you can see the arc before, maybe this is not gonna look that good because you can see sort of where the rock is gonna go as is like throwing it, instead of it being more dynamic. Also, I wanna save this rock here in a projectile sprite here. Maybe we even like rotate it a little bit. How far is this? 9. 3 by, no, 10. Okay. Okay. Nine, 8. There. 9, 9. Okay. Actually, I want to take the original here, just in case. So now it's apparently this. Actually, yeah, we should probably just use this instead. Okay. Excuse me. And now we take this one and we do 90. So wait, this is 45, so this should be 90 and this should be in the next over. We also need to fix the lighting here. Okay. 45. Um, 90 plus 45, 180, so like this. Like this. I guess we can just reverse these. Need more frames. I mean, maybe it's too much to have 45 degrees. I don't know. Maybe it looks it will look too smooth. Oh, you're not even seeing this. Okay, I'll show you in the... Man, I need to step up my game of showing the correct thing. So, here we have... Let's see. Let's make a new animation called throw. Throw attack, maybe. Just throw. And we'll start actually with this. These two. Then we'll go down to this one. Oh. Also, this needs to be... 64. Yeah. So we start with that, and then that. And then this, and then that. Wait, why is it... Oh, it's the wrong thing. Okay, I need to move some things here. Yes, I think. Or no, this be like this. Okay, now we can see. Let's make this new one called throw. Oops. And 64. This and this. This. No, why this? Oh, because it's on the underside now. I see. Okay. So I have to... Okay, I'll just copy those as well. I'll just take these two. The starting ones and copy them to the same sort of format. There's like 3 from the bottom and 3 from the left. There. All right. Also, I don't need to quit the animation tool because it keeps... You can reload the texture from inside here. Okay, so throw 64. Okay, now we take these two. And I accidentally clicked that one. Yeah. I mean, I think the last frame, the rock is kind of in a weird position, maybe. Maybe we don't even show the rock in the last frame. And it will spawn as a thing instead. Also, I want to slow this down a little bit. Yeah, the animation looks a little bit weird. It's not as fluent as in my head. It's like in the last step, it's like wiggling around a lot here. And it should be like deflating as well. Or inflate, I guess. It's deflating to create this thing, and then you should expand again. Okay. And then I want to make another animation. I want to do the rock projectile. I mean, that looks okay, I guess. It doesn't really have to have all of these frames, I don't think. That looks fine in itself. We can even do this. And it looks okay. Yeah. I mean, you can even do this. Perhaps. Or this. Yeah. Okay. So oh no, it crashed. Interesting. Sig fault. Okay, something with some animation. But you know what? I'm not gonna sit here and perfect this animation. I just want to have some sort of rock throwing animation. And we can perfect it later if this is the type of thing that I want. So I'm just gonna do this real quick here. So let's remove the rock from the last frame and we'll start to deflate this guy again. So we'll just do a couple of these things there and this guy. We'll do this. I'm not gonna spend too much time on this because yeah, it's still like in an experimental stage as it is. So let's make this outline here. I mean, it's fun to draw these things, but I want to experiment with the gameplay to find fun things as well. Quicker. Okay, so that's the last frame now. Let's save that and see how that looks. In the animation. Yeah. Okay. So, right. So now we have those animations. We have a walk animation and a rock throwing animation. We also have a rock projectile. So now what we want to do is throw, rock, walk, and rock projectile. This one is now done. Great. So what I want to do is I want to expand the monster AI. And what does that mean? Well, I want the monster to be able to walk around. I want the monster to... It's redundant. Walk around, hunt, player. I want... Like if you're idle, I want them to like walk around a little bit. If they aggro the player, I wanted to hunt the player. So we also need player aggro state, and that's sort of like a meta state, or it's like a state that's not really the main state. It's like a separate state, which is, I guess, it's like on or off. And then I want to able to throw rocks. So it's gonna like select the attack based on I guess distance to player, and yeah, throw rock attack, and also spawn rock projectile. And if we can get to it, rock target indicator. Okay, so let's see if we can do this this session. There's a bunch of stuff that we've written down here, so we might be able to do it. Or yeah. So let's see. So expand monster area. So yeah. Well, first of all, we want to define these new animations. So here's this one, and we have what was it? Throw. Oops. And rock, which is the rock projectile. And and we also have walk. Okay. Then I guess we go to monster. Right. Here we want to say, has the monster aggro the player? I think. I'm just gonna say is hunting player. Okay. And we're gonna set that to false. And yeah. We want to add an attack type, which is called throw. Oh yeah. Yeah. And let's see. So then in update, we do have this state here. So I'm thinking like, how does it enter like hunting the player mode? So we are in idle and then we start to attack. So this is probably the check where we can say that now we can start hunting the player. So let's do that. Monster AI is something plays true. Alright, we need, I feel like we need a function for determining the attack type now. And that's gonna be different. Also, it's like, yeah, we should have now two different attack distances. One for throw and one for melee attack. So let's add that. This should be like melee. And let's add ranged. Oops. And I guess that could be like 600 or something. I don't know. So we can actually do this. We can check if the distance is less than range attack and it's aggroed, then we do this. Otherwise we do this. Also, I think this should be both for idle and walk as well, or walking. We don't have the walk state either, so we need to add that as well. Let's just call it walk, whatever. So, if we are walking, I want to break this out into functions, but let's just do this first. So we're checking if we're hunting the player and the range attack distance is met, then oh yeah, I forgot to post this. Sorry. Monster AI is hunting prey. So Yes. If we want to, so this is like we want to get the direction to the player. We don't do random. We start the attack here, so set animation to throw, and we want to set the state. We don't really have a hurt thing here. It's gonna be the rock that's gonna hurt you. So we actually don't really have these things. Let's set these at 0. And that should be fine. Attack type is throw. Okay. And yeah. Okay. So now it should actually be, if the monster is aggroed, we can go close to it to get aggroed, and then we back off, and then if we go close again, we should be getting the range attack on us. Oh, it crashed, okay. Reach unreachable code. So there's an animation that doesn't exist. Oh yeah, I forgot to import the animations. Okay, let's go close. Let's see, there we go. Except the origin is a little bit messed up, but oh, I see. So maybe we should look for the lower distance first. Yeah. There. Okay, aggroing. It's gonna throw. Oh, does it not end? Yes, it does end that. If I'm standing here, it should. Why is it not? Going in here. When the attack is ended, it sets to idle. I mean, that seems to work. I'm not sure why it's still... Did I save it? Goes in here. Maybe I was too far away. Maybe it just looked like I was close enough, but I wasn't. Oh yes, I need to stand way close. Okay. So I think what we do is we want to say it's not going to do a range attack if you are close enough also. So range attack distance threshold, we're also going to do no range attack distance threshold, which is going to be like, I don't know, 300 maybe. Let's try that. And we're gonna say if the distance is less than equal to that and distance is more than, wait, distance should be less than that, but it should also not, but it should also be more than no ranged threshold. Yeah. So there's a sweet spot there where the monster, I guess, would just approach you instead once we implement the walking. And then when you move far away, it's gonna start throwing rocks at you. Okay, let's fix the origin real quick on the animation there. So the throw animation, we want to put the origin I think this is going to be like negative 16. I want to look at the attack animation. Yeah, these are 16, so this should be negative 16. And I haven't implemented a way to do this for all the frames at the same time. But I'm gonna move this editor to the other main editor later, but that's a future project, and then I can implement those nice things to have. There we go, and save, and import, run, aggro, throw rocks. There we go. Okay. Now also the death animation looks really weird. I'm just gonna look at this. It should be like this, but it's like cutting off really quickly. I don't know why that happens. Okay, but anyway, okay, so we actually have now aggregate state. We have select attack based on distance to player. We have the throw rock attack, although we don't have the rock projectile, and we don't have this. So we actually got quite a ways there. I want to do this. I also want, I mean, it would be nice to have the a jump ability for the monster as well, but I don't. That's gonna be a whole other thing. I have to think about how do I want the monsters to navigate the map. That's gonna be a whole thing. I'm gonna have to research a little bit on that. But for now, I'm just gonna do a very naive thing where the only thing that they can do is move to the left or right and not be able to walk. And if they fall down, they will fall down. And if they get stuck, they will get stuck. So let's see. So first thing, how do we enter the walk cycle? Everything goes to idle, and when you're idle, I think what I did for the other game was that you have a timer, and once that timer is up, then you change to a random state, and then that state will be either like idle or walk maybe, and then the walk also has like a timer, so maybe it's walking to the left or to the right a certain amount of time, and once that time is up, then it goes back to either idle or maybe another walk. So it's gonna be like a random occurrence, or random, like a loop that does random things basically. So what I'm thinking is either we could implement so that both idle and walk has their own state, because they need a timer in that case. We could, I mean, yeah, that makes sense. Let's actually do that. So, because that's kind of the convention that we have now. Walk state. Let's put it down there. Monster, yeah, idle state. So let's do end at. And let's also do for. Whoops. Walk, and the walk could even have like a direction, which could be like left or right. So let's just make this, I don't know, do we have direct, we have this, but I guess we could have that. Yeah, because this one, yeah, you can convert this to an angle that you will approach as well, so that works fine. Okay, so now we have those. Now we have a bunch of errors because this doesn't cut it anymore. So we need to make sure that whenever we set this to idle, we want to maybe we can actually just do set idle and we do set state idle, but and at needs to be totally t and excuse me, and that needs to be t plus like idle duration, I don't know. Let's say 2 seconds or something, I don't know. And So we're setting it to idle. I think also what we may want to have is like set like idle random or something. Because set idle could mean that you're either idle or walking around, I guess. Right. So what we'll do is we'll do this, and then here we set this to idle, otherwise we set it to walk, and the direction should also be like random. Okay. Wait. Sometimes my brain just goes into another programming language. Okay. Question from blah blah blah. Okay, yeah. So now we set idle instead. And we need T. Okay. So in here, now we set the state randomly. And it's like 50-50 if it's going to be idle, if it's going to be walk, and if it's walk, it's like a random direction. Okay, so now we need to also, if the state is walk, I guess we want to set the animation as well. So whenever we actually do this, we want to check okay, so we actually want this set idle here because we actually want to set the animation based on that. So let's copy this. This is what we want to do. First, we set the idle on master AI. We also do T. We also need registry. We need the entity. And that's it. So we're setting idle. Then we check monster AI state. No? State. So if it's idle, then we do this. If it's walk, else we don't do anything. Okay. And I realized that there's gonna be an issue with the direction, because right now the direction is always... Well, actually, when attacking, the direction is set towards the player, I guess. Okay. Let's see if they start to walk around. No? Not even the walk animation is playing, so... Oh yeah, we're not actually using this function. So we need to do set idle like this. But then we also need to pass these things. There. All right. So if you technically, if we wait around now, should be seeing the walk animation, or maybe actually not in the start. Right. So when we're spawning in, the idle is doing this. Oh yeah, we're not actually checking for the end of the idle animation. Huh. So, we do want to do that as well. So, do we have any like returners stuff in here? Doesn't look like it. So in idle and walk, we want to check for these things. I guess if we do an else here, this is like where you're actually idle and walk around and not aggroing the player. So we want to check if... Well, I guess we want to do a switch now on the state again. So if it's idle, then we get that. And then we check if idle and that is less than or equal to t. Then we do set idle again. And then we do the same thing for walk. And that will make it like loop around. Excuse me. And we don't have any other things happening here. Alright, let's see if that works now. There we go. Now you can see him walking around a little bit. Well, it doesn't actually move anywhere, but it's nice to see that actually it works. So if we are walking, I guess we basically want to handle this here. I think maybe we actually just want to say if it's ending, but if it's not ending, then we want to say if most AI has changed state, so that means that it entered the walk state in this frame. Then we want to set I guess it doesn't really matter. We can do it anyway. So now we're actually walking somewhere. So what do we want to do there? We want to set the velocity towards the direction. So we're gonna grab the monster body and we want to say apply force. And the force is going to be move vector. So what is that? That is going to be some sort of force or some sort of like scalar times the direction. Well, I guess the x component. Let's do. Wait. We wanna do rotate. No. What do we have here? So, well, I guess we can use rotate like this. We want to rotate this by monster A, by the walk direction. Wait. Yeah, I want to have it here as well. And then this one can actually just return that. Here. So 2 radians. Okay, we want to rotate it there. And then, so it's either gonna be right or left. And yeah, I mean, I guess that's it, actually. Well, actually, no, it's not. This is only X. Yeah. So it's gonna be like, I guess. Yeah, we do have right. But this also makes sense. But you could do, for example, right times scalar 100 as well, if you want. This one is a, yeah, it's a vector straight off there. Okay. So then we have the move vector now, and we apply that force there, and then sorry, I lost my train of thought there. Let's see. Yeah, so we're applying the force, so now it should actually move around in that direction. I also want to set the monster's actual direction, if we have that somewhere. No. Well, we have it here. Let's just get this direction because we're using it everywhere. So let's just get this. Let's call this also monster direction. And we'll do the same thing here. Okay. Right, because we're setting the direction when we attack. That makes sense. Oh yeah, and we can do the same, we can use the same logic to be able to determine the actual direction by, well, I guess this would be when it's not, well, actually, if yeah, we want to check here, like, if we are hunting the player, we don't want to use set idle, we want to use, like, walk towards the player instead. But I'm not gonna worry about that for now. I'm gonna implement that later. So when hunting player, walk towards player, I'm just gonna add that as a note here. What to do, I guess. And then, so we don't forget that, that's a good place to put it here. Okay. Now, but otherwise, we already have a direction. Oh yeah, so we just set this direction now to the walk direction. Yeah. Okay, maybe we need to up the scaler a bit. Let's do like 10,000 or something. I think the monster might weigh quite a bit since the volume is like a lot, yeah. Maybe we'll don't actually do apply force. Maybe we'll do like apply impulse. Or maybe not. Or maybe we just set the velocity directly. We could also just times it by the mass to get rid of that. So if we do like 100 and we also do times mass. No, S mass. Then let's see how fast this guy goes now. I'm not that fast, okay. Also, the speed might also depend on if you're hunting the player or not. So I think if we determine the speed, if monster AI is hunting the player, then the speed is larger, so let's do 400. Otherwise, let's do, well, actually, let's do this. And then this would be the speed. What's going on here? Comp time. Okay. Okay, there we go. Yeah, that actually looks okay. And then if we aggro and move a lot, like away, it's gonna move at like double speed. Okay. But that double speed actually look better for, so let's do 1200 and 600. Oops. Yeah, that looks fine. And then we aggro, and now it should like move faster. Okay, nice. So right. So now we want to check here. So if we are hunting the player, we want to do something. Otherwise, we set this idle. So if we're hunting the player, then we know that we want to do a walk instead towards the player. So we want to set the state. We want to do set state to walk. And that is idle duration. And yeah, this technically means that after like 2 seconds it will change direction, or I mean if it's hunting the player, either the player moves closer and it will actually abort the walking and attack the player. But if the player somehow like jumps over the monster, it will continue in its direction during this duration. But at the end of the duration it will realign and start hunting the player in the other direction instead. So you could lower this duration if you want the monster to hunt the player like more often. So we could actually set this to like, I don't know, 0.1 to have the monster actually follow the player more closely. So we'll do that, and then we need to set the animation to walk. Looping is true. Okay. And oh yeah, and also the direction of the walk, right? Yeah. So it's always left now, but we want to find the direction to the player, and we have this thing for that. So let's grab that. We also set the direction here. I guess that's fine. Do we have the player body here? Yes. Excuse me. What's the direction? Direction there. Okay. Yeah, so now we end or during the walk, if we're hunting the player, we calculate the direction towards the player. We set the state to walk towards that player, towards that direction. We set animation to walk. Otherwise, if we're not hunting the player, we're just idling around. If we are currently walking somewhere, we are moving in that direction. So, yeah. let's try this now. Okay, we aggro. Oh, it's moving in. Okay. Oh yeah, and also I think that once the attack is ended, it goes back to idle. So I think this should depend on if it's hunting the player or not. So we could say if we are hunting the player, we want to do... Yeah, so this is like a repeating pattern here, I see. So we want to do this thing. Let's actually make a function for that as well. Set walk towards player. And we need like everything in here. We also need also direction. And the player body. And the monster body. Okay. So set walk towards player. Yeah. And we'll do the same thing here. I mean, I guess we could bake this into set idle, I guess. Guess it's kind of like... Yeah, I don't know. We could have it like up to each thing. Oh, we don't have monster direction. Maybe we should just get that here. Yeah. Okay. Right. Let's see, where else are we doing this? Spawning. So when we're spawning, this shouldn't really matter. We haven't had a chance to aggro yet. Switch into this. Yes, so maybe here we need to actually look at this. But or actually, because if you're idle, then you're not really gonna be hunting the player. So I think we don't really need to look at that. Okay, let's try now. Agreeing. So it should be like following me now. Why is like the animation stopped? Maybe... Actually, you know what? The walk towards player, maybe the duration should be just the animation duration. That makes sense. Get animation duration. Yeah. Why does it get stuck? Wait, am I missing something? We should be getting in here. Right, so after the throw we do this. It's gonna hunt the player, right? So... I don't know. Is the duration changed? We do an attack. Doesn't look like it. Oh, it's gonna be T plus. Right. Where is it? Yeah, it's gonna be T plus this. Right, okay, that makes sense. Yes, now it's following me around. If I move over here, it's gonna move, follow me, and throw rocks. Okay. Okay, so we actually got that working now. So let's go to do. So this actually works now. Now, and that was like the hardest part. Well, so far. What I want to do now is I want to focus on spawning the rock projectile and rock target indicator. So let's do the rock projectile first. So I think this will be a new type of, yeah, this is going to be like a new entity that's going to be spawned from this. And let's check if we have some component that actually hurts the player. I think it's just the thing that hurts the player right now is only the monster. So we want to basically have a let's do damage on touch component. Okay, and I guess we'll have like an amount or something. I don't know. Okay. I think also we want to have like a destroy on touch as well. And since we have had bad experience with this, with like empty components, I'm gonna just put something in here. I guess we'll call it enable variable set true. Right. So I think, yeah, and then we can create these systems. And what we need is the registry. Yeah. And we want to grab, we want to check if this is colliding with the player. And this is kind of naively implemented right now, but I just want to check that. So let's get the destroy and touch view. And we're gonna include destroy and touch. We also want rigid body to know where it is. And yeah, let's make an iterator. Right, so there's our things there, and then we want to grab also the player. So I think we just pass the player in as an entity here. And let's grab player body. Actually, do we want to check for intersections, or do we just want to check if the player collides? I don't know. Let's just grab the player here and wait. Get with the body player. Okay, so now we need a dot body. Okay, and if this is colliding with this, we want to destroy this entity. Well, I guess we'll mark it. Yeah, we ran into this issue with iterating and then destroying entities while iterating. So what I want to do is I want to store a entities to destroy list array list, and we'll initialize that with the allocator. And yeah, Wait, this is not okay, so now we get this list, and we will add the entity to the list here and catch reachable. Alright, and then we want to go through all these entities and we destroy them. So then we do registry destroy entity. Okay, and that's basically it, I think, for this one. And then let's copy this and do damage on touch, and we need to import a bunch of stuff. Where is it? No. So this is damage on touch. And we do the same thing. We do, well, we're not gonna destroy anything. So if we collide, we want to apply this damage to the player. And I forget how we actually do that. Let's go to player and see what we have. So we have the player AI, or the player's component. So we can say, oh yeah, we probably want to calculate the shield blocking as well for that. So let's check where this is used. It's not used. What? It is used. But it's used in, well, it's used in here. Well, let's just draw. And then it's used here. Right, so okay, yeah. So we can check if the player's hurt, and we don't really need to do anything because we are invulnerable. We do return. And I guess we will grab the player state. Wait, the player component. Player component. Yeah. Okay, so we're checking if the state is hurt. Then we return. Here, in order to damage the player, we do a bunch of stuff. Here we're blocking as well. I think we'll just copy this part and see how much we can reuse here. So we have the direction. I think, yeah, this is gonna be depending on if the player's facing the body and not if they have the same direction. But this is the player, yeah. We need to import horizontal or yeah. And then we have that. So we're checking if the direction is. So we basically want to check is the player facing the body here. So we want to get the relative direction to this body, I guess, because if you're standing with your back towards it, it's not gonna. I guess maybe it doesn't really matter the direction though. Maybe I'm not sure. It depends on how large the hitbox is. I forgot. Let's check that. So the size is like same as the player body. And we have a little bit of offset here. So I think, yeah, let's not actually worry about the direction here. We'll grab the shield hitbox. This is kind of getting ahead of ourselves a little bit, but and then if our hitbox, so we don't really have a hitbox for ourselves though. That's gonna be like the dot body. Let's just do ABB. And if that intersects with the shield hitbox, then I think we want to check if it's destroy on touch, because then it's like it should die at that point. So let's actually see if we have that destroy on touch. What is this? No, that's the player. This should be player. Okay, so if we have destroy and touch, which we need to grab, then we want to mark this for destruction as well. Okay. So let's do that. We're kind of mixing the responsibilities of these things a little bit. I'm not sure if this is like a good way of doing it, but I'm just gonna do it like this for now. It's like the easiest way for me to think about right now. Educator. Okay, so we're doing this list here, and if we want to destroy it on touch, then we do append entity that's unreachable. Right, and we can continue, that's fine. Also, we wanna copy this, and then we get the health component of the player, and we hurt it, and then after that we're gonna have destroy and touch, I think. We also want to destroy on touch. Like destroy on touch is only for the player. It's also gonna be the rock project that's gonna be need to destroy when it reaches the ground as well. So when it collides with something static, maybe that's also when it should be destroyed. We need the health component. Okay. Right. Okay. So yeah. Yeah, so let's go to initial scene, and now we can go to update. Well, let's import these new systems and stuff first. So we want to import what is it? Yeah, damage on touch system. And destroy touch system. Right, and then we go to update. Oops. Now, where do we do this? I think before check pending damage here. So let's do damage on touch first. And then destroy on touch will be well, I mean, it can be right after. We want to have it after, so it actually has a chance to, the damage has a chance to do anything before we destroy it. Okay, so that's that. Now, in the monster part here now, we want to go to where we attack the player with a throwing attack, which we are doing somewhere here. So so here we want to spawn a projectile, but we only want to do it sort of in the middle of the animation, I guess, because we are sort of showing that's how the animation works. So I want, maybe this should have been another state actually. Maybe each different type of attack is its own state, so you can define more things, or the type has state in it. Because what I'm trying to do is I want to define when this should be spawned. Okay, let's do that. Let's change this to a union enum. It's pretty easy to do that. And then this would be I guess attack type throw. Which would have spawn rock at there. Okay. So now this will be throw and spawn rock at, and this would be T plus, and then when do we spawn the rock? Well, if we open the animation studio and we look at the throw animation and we look at the last frame, it starts at 1.2 seconds. Maybe it's a bit hard for you to see, but it spawns at 1.2 seconds, So I think that's when we spawn our rock. Okay, so 1.2. And yeah, so that should be good there. Oops, what's happening here? This needs to be a var, I guess. Oh yeah, array list, this is entities. Wait, expected. Get closed. Oh. Oh. Right, now it's gonna be intersects. Right. And destroy and touch is if it's not equal to null. And this one is the items. Okay. And same thing here, this is var, we need to pass easiest entity here, this is get const. We should do intersects. And dot items. Okay. Let's go back to master and okay, so now we don't have any more real compile errors. This is just a fake one. Okay, so now the throw has a spawn rock at, so we actually need to go to the attack thing here, and we want to check if the time. Well, we want to check if attack type is equal to throw, and this time is more than or equal to a spawn rock. Yeah. Oh yeah. We also probably need a bool to tell if we already spawned it or not. So yeah, let's do is rock spawned. Bool, and we just set that to false. And then we also need to check if attack throw is rock spawned. Well, if it's not spawned, then we spawn the rock. So here we spawn the rock, and how do we do that? Well, let's just make, maybe we should just make a function for that. Let's just say spawn rock, and we need a registry. We need the entity. Yeah. And let's just add this here. Spawn rock. Registry. And entity. Okay. Okay. So, yeah. So we spawn the rock by creating the entity first. then we want to add a bunch of components to this rock. So we want to have a rigid body, but that's gonna be through the physics system. But we also want to have a damage on touch component. So let's grab that. Not the system. And also destroy. Okay, so we need damage on touch, damage, whatever. And destroy on touch. Okay. We also want to add oh yeah, this is the monster entity. So we need to grab the monster body to know where we actually want to spawn this rock. So let's grab the body from entity. And I want to go to initial scene, and I want to go to where the function where we create monsters. So we want to grab this thing. So we want to add an animation instance. We want to set animation. We want to add a bunch of other stuff. So let's also do that. This is like the graphics for the rock. This is the rock. And the texture. Right, so we need texture container. Oh. Oh, these containers are a little bit annoying actually. I thought it was a really nice way of doing it, but to hard code in what textures you have in the types of the thing turns out to be more cumbersome than actually it helps, I feel. So, well, maybe it would be better if it's just an enum, but okay. This one, we call this get texture here, which is this part, and we need this type, and it's this type here, so that, yeah. And we usually do it like this. We say we actually need to bring in that type then in that case to be able to get that singleton. But I think actually I could grab the same animation from the monster instead. So let's just grab the animation or the monster animation instance from the monster. We don't need a texture container now. So the texture will actually be monster animation, because it's part of the same tile set. So, and we'll get the current texture and we'll grab the texture from that. So there we go. Yep. And the animation will be rock for that. Okay. And then this is rock. Okay, so we'll grab the animation, the rock animation here. We set the animation to rock. Yeah, it's a bit redundant here, but we're doing it sort of twice here. But this is just to set sort of the starting point here for this. Oh yeah, we don't actually have T, so we need to bring in T as well. Absolute time. There. Right. Let's also start this animation. Okay, so now we have that. Let's go back to initial scene and we'll go down to where we create the rigid body now for the thing. We also need this, the current texture. So we have the actual texture here for the rock. Okay. We don't need health, we don't need this. Draw layer we might actually want to have though. Or is it always going to be like in the front? So, okay, let's skip draw layer. Horizontal direction doesn't matter for the rock. Right, so here's the physics rock thing part. So let's just copy that. So we'll add this rigid body. We have the rock here. Position, we don't have the scale. Oh yeah, we don't actually have the scale either. I'm just gonna hard code that for now. I just want to make this work right now. So I know it's gonna be 4. So density, we don't care. It's not static. It's not gonna be solid either. The shape. So this is like the collision shape. It doesn't really matter. So well, actually it does matter because that's the ABB. It's gonna be the texture is actually like 32 by 32 pixels, but the actual rock is like, if I go into GIMP here, it's actually like, well, for one it's a circle, and 2 it's like 13 by 15 or 15 by, let's say it's like 14 by 14 to have some sort of medium. So we'll add the hitbox then, and that's gonna be this, and the center. Oh yeah, wait, hitbox is gonna be, no, not from center. I guess we'll just do from radius 14, and that will end up with this thing, which is not really what we want. Okay, maybe we should just do this. Top left is so what's 32? So the whole thing is 32 by 32, and the inner rock part is 14 by 14. So we want to move down 32 minus 14. That will end up in wait, no, 14 is the size in the middle, so we wanna do 16 is the center, and then wait, and then we do minus 7, which is 14 by divided by 2, right? That would end us up with, so it's gonna be rock width is 14, we do rock width over 2 minus this is like the sprite width is 32, so sprite width over 2. So now we're in the center, and then we go back to a rock width half. That should end us up in the top left, or the left part. And then we do the same thing for, so actually we want to do sprite size is this, and rock size, and then we say top left is sprite size over 2 minus rock size over 2. Okay, so that's the top left of the hitbox, and then the bottom right is the same, except it's plus there. Okay, and this is true. Alright. Right, so that's the hitbox. Now we want the position, and the position is going to be based on the monster position. So let's just do the same position for now, and we'll see how that looks. And we can adjust it as we need to. So the position will be monster body clone position. Okay. Density doesn't matter. I'm just gonna say 1 there. Shape. Okay, we need to import shape here. No. Yeah. Rectangle. Hitbox. Okay. Spawn rock needs T. Okay. Nice. I think we got most things now. We got the damage on touch, destroy on touch, so it will be damaging the player and destroyed when it touches the player. Then we also have the graphics for it, and we also have the hitbox and the position and the rigid body here. Now we wanna grab the body actually here and we wanna apply a force to it, which is gonna be like the launching force. And I don't really have a thought on how the angle should be worked out now, but let's just make a random angle here. And this is gonna, well, not random, but it's gonna be like let's do pi over 4. So that's straight up. So let's do over 3.5. So that's going to be slightly tilted to the left. And it's going to, I guess it's going to be depend on the direction actually. Oh yeah, so the direction. Oh yeah, so we need a direction towards the player, at least. So let's grab the direction as well. Yeah. So we'll say if this is 4, and then we'll do a slight modification here. If the monster direction is left, then this is going to be negative 0.5, else it's going to be plus 0.5. Okay. We can even have like I don't know, angle and like angle adjustment. It's really not nice looking, but I just want this to work here. So right, so now we have the angle, and we wanna then make a force vector, and so we want something that we can rotate in this angle, and it's gonna be right times some sort of large number. Let's do like this, and then we also want to scale by the rock body mass so we don't get tripped up by that. So that should be good. Let's actually do this like 5,000. Let's see how much that will do. So force vector there. Okay, so now we apply a force as well. Does not support field access. Wait, no, it's equal to left. There we go. Okay, so we need to say wait. And this is F32, and this is directional adjustment there. Okay, that works. All right. Okay, so that should actually be everything to spawn the rock now. And yeah, we are spawning the rock. Oh yeah, one more thing. This is gonna, well, I guess we could try this, but it's gonna spawn like one rock every frame now. So because we're not setting is rock spawn to true. Oh, did it crash or something, or what's happening? No, still running. There we go. So let's aggro this guy, move away a bit. Yeah, there you see it's spawning one every frame, and interestingly it just flowed downwards, so that's interesting. Yeah, first of all, I'm gonna set now the throw is rock spawned to true. I guess what you also could do is set this timer to like infinity, but whatever. Cannot assign to a constant. Alright, let's make it mutable. Okay, so now it should only spawn one rock, but it looks like the force was a bit weak. Yeah, you're not really throwing that hard there, so okay. Let's look at the force vector again. So am I right in this? Like this should be straight up. Like pi over 2 is 180, right? No. What am I saying? Wait. Pi is half. Right. I was thinking pi over 2 is half. It's not. Oh, so it should be 2 here. There we go. 2 pi is 1 revolution. Yeah. Okay. It might not be correct now, but at least we can try this. I think this should be correct. We'll see. No, it still just goes straight down, which is like also weird. Okay. Exciting. Let's just force it to be like 1.5. Wait, no, 1. Yeah, 1. Well, it will go to the right, I think now. No, it just doesn't. Oh, I think I know what the issue is. So the force is applied only the 1 frame, and then it actually doesn't do anything. And so but it should still, maybe it's like okay. Oh yeah, so it should be impulse then. Let's do impulse instead. This also calculates with mass, so I'm not sure if this is my own implementation of these things, of the impulse and stuff. So I'm not sure if it's like correct in that sense. I haven't really looked that much into it, but it should be doing something similar at least. Oh, there we go. Okay. Well, for 1, it's a bit fast, so let's lower that. And 2, the angle is weird. Let's try just straight up, I guess. No, this is straight to the left. No, it's not. This is straight to the left. This is straight up. Yes. Ambiguous conversion of division operands. What? Okay. Just do what I tell you to do. Okay. There we go. It goes straight down. No. It goes faster, so... I mean, what if we just do minus... It should be affected by gravity, so... Yeah. Oh, see, it's like juggling now. Why is that like... Because we're rotating... This has angles like 0. And we're just adding, basically adding this angle to it. So it should be rotating like this. Right? Or is it... it's because the Y is flipped, isn't it? Right. Okay. Yeah. Right. So, let's add this adjustment now. And I mean, it's probably gonna be like the wrong way around or something now. It looks like it's like going slightly left and then it stops. Okay. Oh, wait. It should be like this. Not that that should actually matter that much. I feel like there's some other issue here. Yeah. So we are modifying the velocity. The velocity is like saved. So the acceleration is like each frame is reset because, yeah, it's, I guess it's easier to do it that way. The velocity is saved, is like accumulated. So applying an impulse should make it work. Well, it goes up, so what if we set this? No, we can't set it to 1. Well, we can set it, actually we can set it to 1. Let's just try this and see. It feels like there's something else going on. That's the issue here. And I don't know what it is. You can see it's like slightly going to the side and then it like... Oh, wait. It's like a friction thing. Okay. Right. So why? So... Oh. Right. Okay. I have to probably go into our physics system and change stuff now there then. Friction. Is that happening in the physics simulation then? No. We have ground friction. But it doesn't seem to be used. It's a bit long since I was in here. So we have update positions, collisions and stuff. So let's check here. This part, yeah, we're applying gravity. That just basically adds to the velocity, adds the gravity. And then, yeah, we do this end thing. We reset the acceleration here. Positions is updated in here. And so this is what we do here. This is basically just dealing with acceleration, velocity, position, and rotational, which we don't have right now. But then we have just updating. So this doesn't do anything. It just updates some data, or so that we get the correct vertices. We do collision. So where does the friction come from? Maybe that happens. Let's check initial scene. Update physics. Here we have update friction. Right. So we're going through all of the rigid bodies. And right. So it's like we always have friction all the time. For everything. So I think for the projectile, we don't actually want this. Just thinking of what's a good way of dealing with this now. I guess we could have a component where that says that we don't need to deal with friction, or we could set it in the rigid body itself, maybe, because we don't really have much to do with friction in here. Right now. Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna do this really simple here. So let's just do no friction component. And we'll grab that from here. Import no friction. Oops. We just check here if it's static or if try get no friction from now we need that. Okay. we need the entity now. So Bobby is going to be view get entity. This is going to be entity. So if this is not equal to null, then we also don't want to deal with the friction. Okay. Now let's go back to the rock. And we also want to then add registry add rock, no friction. Now that should prevent the friction from affecting the rock. Okay. There we go. I was throwing it in the wrong direction, so we need to adjust that. So let's do right, or we could do this. Okay. And it might be maybe a little bit too far as well. So let's lower this to like, I don't know, 200. Okay, that's a little bit low. Let's do 600. Huh. Oh. Can I shield block? Yes, I can. Okay, cool. So at least that works. That's cool. Okay, it goes like straight. Is the angle correct then? It feels like the angle is like off now. Let's try this again, and we'll see which direction it goes. I need to fill up my water a little bit here. Okay. Yeah, now it's going like... Right. Wait, but if this is down, then up will be pi, so up will be let's do pi times 3 over 2, I believe. Wait, so right, so it's gonna be pi times, so pi is half, so pi over 2 is a quarter, so you need 3 3/4 of the total circle to go up, to get up. Yeah, so let's do that here. So let's do up, but then we also add pi times this. Wait, not pi, maybe not. Well, I guess we could do it like that. So we could have half, which is 40, no, it's 90 degrees. And this is 45 degrees. Okay, let's try that and see if that's correct. I'm a little bit rusty here on the math, but let's see. Okay, so that looks better, but we just need to modify this again, so let's do that. Okay. And the other way is like that. Okay, cool. Although this might be a bit... okay, I'm stun locked. Yeah, and death actually crashes the game, so I haven't implemented that. But yeah, nice. Might need a little bit of balancing, but at least like this thing actually works. I don't know about the indicator. Maybe we don't really need the indicator. Let's just skip that for now. Because that's gonna require like we need to like calculate where will where will it end up on the ground, and yeah, I'm not gonna do that. So right, so we actually did all that. Nice. So maybe we want to like modify the challenge of these a little bit. Also, the timing on the animations is a little bit weird. Sometimes the hurt animation should be longer, like that, I think. I don't know. And then the death animation just exits randomly before it should. Okay, so these guys now are pretty menacing when dealing with range. I think one thing that I want to add maybe is like a cooldown. They shouldn't be able to like just throw rocks all the time. So they're gonna throw a rock and then they're gonna just continue, I guess, charging the player. So I want to go... I want to add like a cooldown to that, but there's like... I can't do it with a state because the state will disappear. So I have to do it here. Throw cooldown ends at and yes. So now we can do here somewhere. Yeah, this whole if thing. We also want to check here if this is a really nice if statement here, but we want to check if the rock cooldown is less than or equal to t. So that means t has passed the cooldown when it ends. So now you're able to throw again. And we should also now set the cooldown here to t plus throw cooldown duration. So let's have that, I don't know, maybe 3 seconds or something. Yeah. So now the monster shouldn't be able to spam the throw all the time. Maybe there should also be like a... Yeah, you can see it's not spamming all the time. It throws and then it approaches instead. The angle of this thing is like very how you say, like annoying, I guess you could call it. Let's see. Maybe I want it to be more like up in the air and not as far. Sort of like the skeletons in Kottefolket. The bone throwing skeletons, I guess. Also, one thing that I forgot is we need to destroy these rocks once they like hit the ground. Maybe that could be a nice ending to this session. Because I have, yeah, maybe half an hour left right now. I'm gonna have another session later as well, I think. Okay, so I want to adjust the angle a little bit. So it's gonna be more, so it's gonna be like less here, so let's do like 0.1. Then we should have like a ballistic editor that shows the path based on the... Yeah, that's more like what I had in mind, I guess. That's easier to deal with. Maybe also it should be affected by the gravity like faster. Because it kind of like it takes so long to go around. It almost feels like it's accelerating towards me a little bit. Okay, one thing that I want to do is maybe change the spawn position of the rock. Actually, you can see it's spawning like in the center of the monster, but the rock is actually slightly off to the side. So let's change that. The position. So based on the direction of the monster, which is this 2 radians and right, and then we add like what was it, like the rock. Actually, you can add like, or scale it by the sprite size over 2, maybe. Well, let's actually just do hard coded here. So let's just do like 16. Maybe we should count it to be sure it ends up in the correct position. Because the center is actually right in the center of... But that actually didn't do anything. What? Oh wait, it should be the other way around. This should be... I think this should be like negative then. I didn't see it. Let's see. I'll move back. No, it still looks like it's spawning in the center. Well, actually, it's a little bit... No. Oh, I think it needs to be scaled by the scale. So let's try this. There we go. Oh, now it looks almost like it's like spawning out of its thing there. So that's cool. Aggro. I also, okay, another change that I want to do is I want to make the monster aggro a little bit. So the way it aggroes right now is if you get into melee distance after it has spawned in, but I want to have like an aggro distance now instead. Also, I could probably change these names a little bit. Let's just remove this. I was thinking I don't want to have name collisions, but it's just gonna be in this file anyway, so there we go. Aggro distance could be something like 300 then. Or maybe even 400, so that they start by throwing something at you. Okay. And I'm just gonna do this. It's gonna be really simple. Aggro distance. This will be set to true. Okay. Now that now it should aggro far further away. There, it aggro there now. Nice. So you can see it spawning in. You go back a bit, and then there it aggros. Okay. Okay, what else can we do? I guess we could implement sort of a rudimentary jumping, because it's sort of like the slimes in Zelda 2, where I don't think they actually have a lot of AI around the environment. They sort of just randomly jump and hope that the kind of jump they're making will get them to where they need to go. At least that's what it feels like while playing the game. So we could do the same here. We could just add like random jumps. Instead of walking, they do a jump instead, and they will be able to climb things by jumping. It shouldn't be that hard to implement. Let's see if we can make a quick animation for that as well. Jump. So, I mean, we could use the same as the walking animation, but just the two first here. And the last frame has like more duration, so we can see like sort of how it would look. So that's the jumping animation. Okay. And let's add that animation here. Jump. And then we need a jump state. And I think while it's jumping, we can remove the friction from it. So the direction doesn't really matter though. You can just set you can just, well, I guess it's nice to have the direction. Yeah, so now we have that. And while jumping, I guess we'll put jump here. Jump. So we'll check if t is more than equal to jump and at. In that case, we do set idle. I guess we can just copy this. Okay. Oh, also, I thought that, yeah, we could actually remove them. Oops. Remove no friction on entity. So we'll add the no friction when you're jumping, but then we remove it once we're out of the jump. Or we could actually just have no friction at all times. Except, I don't think, maybe that doesn't work with ground friction though. No, let's just add it, let's just do it like this. Oops. Okay, so what I was thinking, like, this is gonna be a problem when you go from jump, you cancel, if you cancel the jump in some way other than this, you want to remove the friction as well. So if like the monster is jumping and the player attacks the monster, then the monster should be hurt, which is another state. But we should also add, or we should also remove the no friction as well in that case. But let's not worry about that for now. And so I think just like when we do this one, set idle, we do this, and we say now we actually have 3 different things. So let's do random is maybe uint at most. Let's just do u8 3, or I guess 2. Let's do less than to make it more. So there's 3 choices. The first one is walk. Second one is, or I mean, first one is idle. Second one is walk. Last one is jump. And I guess this looks the same now. Okay. And now we need to do this as well. There. And this is not looping. Okay. And also, if we're jumping, we wanna set like we wanna do like an impulse, the same way we're doing with the block. So, and we wanna add the whatever it was, the no friction thing. So we wanna check, is the state, well actually we have this check here already. So we set the animation to jump. Oops. And what we also want to do is we want to add to the entity. We want to add no friction. And we also want to what was it? Yeah, the impulse. So oops. Let's just copy this. Right. So we have the direction. Well, we need to grab the direction actually. And the adjustment, the angle. And we basically do the same thing here, except here we need to grab the monster body. And we don't have that either, so let's grab that. And this will be monster body, apply impulse. What's this? What happened here? Okay, hopefully nothing else. Okay, I don't know what happened here. Let's go back a little bit. Okay. Now it looks good. Okay, apply impulse. We will grab that. We need monster body. We need monster direction. this is gonna be monster body there. Okay. So yeah, now it should be able to randomly jump, and also with like the same sort of thing as the rock. However, I think I want to lower the force of this jump a little bit. Let's see if that does anything here. So now it should be like randomly walking or jumping. There we go. Okay. So having a little bit of trouble jumping like from a ledge, or not a ledge, but jumping from a corner like this. And you can see also that since they are solid, they sort of pushing each other around. I still have to implement like maybe like physics groups so that they don't collide with each other. But yeah, now they can jump. However, yeah, they don't keep the velocity, I guess. I think maybe we can do it like the x velocity actually stays the same, while the y velocity is changing by the graph, the y velocity can change, but the x velocity stays the same. So we start with this. We have to like calculate this again. This vector here. We can just do this, I guess. Registry entity there. Okay, so now we don't need all of this. We can say impulse vector is going to be calculate jump vector. Oh, but we need the monster body as well. I mean, let's just do this. Okay. So now we can get the impulse vector, and we can then... So basically each frame here, we want to go ahead, and if we're jumping, but then actually we might not need friction in that case. So if we're jumping, then we calculate the vector and we grab the monster body. We might have it here. No. So let's do get there. And we'll take the velocity x, and we'll set that to impulse vector 0. Okay, so then we'll keep our like momentum for the jump, hopefully. And we can also play with okay, let me do this again. Whoa. Interesting. Oh, yes. Okay, so the impulse vector actually, we need to divide this by the mass as well. It's in static. Yeah. Okay, let's see. There we go. It looks a bit weird when it's like... So when it reaches the ground, it should really just end the jump. But you can see it actually works now going around the corners. Let's see if this guy jumps out. Okay. We have like this ground. Alright, let's check here. So we actually we have jumping, but we wanna end jump on ground touch, right? I'm also gonna remove this no friction thing. Wait, the rock should have no friction. Oh yeah. No friction. So we do have one place where we check for like solid collisions, but that's in initial scene. So that's gonna have to be like a special thing here. So we have this on collision, and this one, it handles ground collision, but that's for the player only, I think. Yeah, I guess we could add here like a special case. This is really like, I don't really like this because it feels like you're shattering the logic a little bit by placing it here, but let's do monster components. is a monster, then we check the state. So if the state is jump, we want to cancel the jump. I guess what we could do is we could just say the jump end at is 0 or t, I guess, so that then the next frame at least it's just gonna end. Yeah. Yeah, oh, it's stuck in a jump. It seems to work. Maybe the jump should be like less common. I don't know. We'll do like 10 and then 10%. Let's do, if this is, so it's like, let's say 20% chance of jumping. Otherwise we have, what's left, 80. So it's gonna be 6 there. Okay. That's a lot of jumps in one row for it to be 20% for each one. But I guess maybe that could happen. Maybe we could do like if the last state was jump, then we don't jump. If this is lesson 2 and state is not equal to jump. So now it should not jump 2 times in a row. Yeah. Okay. All right. Nice. So now the enemy is a little bit more interesting. Oh yeah. The rocks though are like immortal, so they will actually never disappear. But I think I want to write that down here as, so this one was done. We want to have this one will be destroy rock, destroy on touching ground. That's a to-do we need to do. Okay. But yeah, I'm gonna take a little break here, so I'll be back probably in a couple of hours or something. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. We got a lot of things done here. It feels nice to have these things done. To work a little bit on a monster AI and see how that goes. So yeah, that's gonna be it. And have a nice day and see you later. Bye bye.